Welcome to the video and welcome to Doha. We're flying with Qatar Airways from here over to Dubai today in first class, so it's Al Safwa lounge time. We're flying in one of these, a Boeing 777-300. It's the actual jet we flew on. If that tickles your fancy, then do stay tuned for more. Here's the seating arrangement on the 777 for this hour-long flight between Doha and Dubai. Very nice indeed. Now, it's quite the layout for such a short flight. It's about an hour or so between Doha and Dubai, but Qatar don't seem to offer a business class trip between the two cities, and instead, having flown business class into Doha, Doha to Dubai was ticketed as first class. And happy days, because that meant we got access to the Al Safwa lounge, reputed to be one of the most amazing lounges in the world. We had a long layover at Doha, about 6 hours, so we were very happy to be able to get into here. It absolutely has the wow factor. We'd already been checked in downstairs, so not sure what the desk is actually for, but you're on a mezzanine level overlooking the rest of the airport. It feels a little bit like a museum, if I'm honest. You can see there water trailing down the walls on the right-hand side, and of course the very famous fountain right in the middle of the lounge. The lounge is also huge. It's absolutely enormous, and on that basis, it kind of feels empty. There was spare seating absolutely everywhere, and in fact this area there wasn't actually another human apart from me and the boss. It was clean, there was lots of space for people to rest, and also a reasonable amount of privacy, as you'll see from these seats here. There was also these little drink stations laid throughout, although if you wanted alcoholic beverages, that seemed to be a la carte or via the bar in the middle. Now naturally, having been fed on the plane, very well fed I might add, of course we headed straight to the a la carte dining area. Now it might just be me, this felt a bit strange. It's high-end a la carte dining and it was very good, service was excellent, but it just felt a bit strange that we're in this massive room. Anyways, here's the beef short rib, which was excellent. We tried to get into one of the cabanas, which are basically book on demand, and none were available, but the crew did show us over to a shower area, which was near the children's area, and very welcome it was too. Over on that side of the lounge, there's lots of little rooms which I think are designed for families, but the wife and I decided to prop up there for a little while, as we had plenty of time to kill. They were very comfortable, with leather sofas and TV. If you're travelling with children, there's plenty for them to do in the Al Safwa lounge, although interestingly, I don't think we saw any children at all in the few hours that we were there. Probably the highlight has to be this F1 simulator, presumably linked up with Qatar's F1 collaboration. With no cabanas available, we thought we'd go for a bit of a wander around the rest of the airport. It really is a lovely airport at Doha, with lots of shopping and of course, lots of high-end labels. We knew we had access to the Al Mourjan lounge as well, so thought, well, let's give that a try, in the spirit of a good review, of course. Now, controversially, I think I actually preferred the Al Mourjan lounge. It was still very aesthetically pleasing, but just felt more well put together as lounges go. There was on-demand dining upstairs and plenty of places to sit and some really comfy seats where I very nearly dropped off at one point. It just felt a bit more normal, whereas sitting in the Al Safwa sort of felt I was sat in a museum. Anyways, not that that's a problem, but there you go. This is the view from the Al Mourjan. And here is their snack dining area, which turned out to be really, really good. Now, by the way, I didn't spend the whole time here eating. This was about 4 hours later from my meal in the Al Mourjan, and actually, I ordered a steak sandwich and it was really, really good. Whatever your lounge preference though, the service across both lounges was nothing short of excellent. We were very, very well looked after and never felt far from a member of staff who was looking to help. Anyway, soon it was time to move to the gate to catch our 777 over to Dubai. Our jet was equipped with Collins Super Diamond seats, and they were very, very nice indeed, particularly for an hour or so's flight. This is the seat I flew over in with the A380. And this is the suite that the A350 use, the Q suite. So you can see why people talk about getting Qatar, because there are quite a few different business class seat options available. That said, I was very happy in my little space here. It had plenty of storage and was very comfortable. There was a hot towel waiting for me as I got to the seat, and when I boarded, I was offered champagne, but decided to decline. It was now about 1:30 in the morning, local time, so I was feeling pretty tired. I'm glad I caught that comment for prosperity, because it's not often I turn down a drink. See, look, no drink, honestly. All in all, this was a very, very comfortable place to be, and actually, had I been flying long haul, this would have been perfect as well. The IFE was excellent. As we know, Qatar offers a very, very broad selection and a very comfortable tray table as well, which gives you plenty of manoeuvring in and out of the seat if you need to. There's no overhead air vents though, although the temperature in the aircraft was just right. Soon we were heading out to the runway and getting ready to take off. The cabin seemed pretty full, which I was surprised about, given the flight is such a short flight, but the overall aircraft I think was pretty full. Economy certainly looked packed. It's incredible to think that this is a typical aircraft for this route. If you were flying an hour in Europe, your business class experience would be very, very different indeed, and it would be the old European business class with economy and a seat in the middle left free. And yes, plenty of legroom, as you can imagine, although I do struggle to sleep in seats like this. I don't think I could have laid flat had I tried. The cabin, though, was very calm, and as you'll see, the cabin is also pretty private. We'd been offered dates and Arabic coffee when we boarded, and we were offered more food options too, but we decided to decline as we were really full up. Here we are on our approach and landing into Dubai. Qatar once again gets top marks. This was an excellent flight, great crew, great seat for an hour, and an amazing ground experience at Doha. Now, talking of that ground experience, let's just reference the Al Safwa Lounge again. Now, don't get me wrong, I really, really enjoyed my time in the lounge. An amazing space, and I'm really glad I got to visit it. It's had so much hype online, I thought it had to be worth a look. But on the basis we were there for 6 hours, I'll be honest, I felt it was a bit stark, it was a bit impersonal, and whilst it was lovely to have a la carte options and the like, it just didn't quite do it for me, and weirdly, I sort of preferred the Al Mourjan lounge. Maybe I'm unique, but of course I'm very grateful that I got to visit the lounge. So here we are, driving up to the gate in Dubai after our 1 hour hop, and a quick thank you to my subscribers. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch my adventures online. I'm really very grateful. And if you're new to the channel and you fancy seeing a bit more of my adventures in the future, do hit that subscribe button. And here we are at the end of the video. Thank you again for watching, and see you on the next one.